I have successfully connected to the internet. Yay. Well, hello, people. Hello, buddy. How are you? Hopefully, you're having a good day. Oh, it's been a long day. Hello, guacamole. I love you too, buddy. Hopefully, everybody's having a great Saturday or had a great Saturday. I don't know. It's about over for some people. Working on your new movie. Nice. Well, hello, Tats. How are you, sir? Guacamole. 222-333-444. Oh yeah. Heather Ray TV. Guacamole. Oh Lord. Well, hello.
Hi there.
How are you today?
Oh, fair to middling.
That's a good way to be.
You know, just doing my thing, doing my thing.
Now, do your thing. Do your thing. Oh.
Yeah, yeah. Everybody's sleeping in my house, so I got to keep it down a little bit, but we're doing
Yeah,
good.
we took the kids out tonight, and I took them and showed them some old cemeteries. Cemeteries are much funner at nighttime.
Oh, I'm a big fan of cemeteries. I like to look and see who's all in there. There's actually a
We
great channel. There's actually a great channel out there that actually explores famous grave locations. I can't remember the name of it right off the bat, but if you just Google famous graves, and you'll eventually run into it. And he goes to all sorts of famous graves and shows you where they are and what they look like.
and hello, Northwood Press. How are you, sir?
But when I used to go to high school, I lived pretty close to the high school that I attended, so I would just walk to school because I we were poor, so I wasn't one of those kids who got a car on my 16th birthday. Um, so I walked to school, and I used to walk through this graveyard that was right next to the school every single day.
Where the as the cookies, the fat man is hungry. They're on the table in the corner.
Yeah, where are the damn cookies? I was
What's up,
promised cookies
Scotto?
over here, but they have to be diabetic for me. I can't have sugar, so I avoid sugar
Yeah,
like the plague.
we took the grandkids over there tonight. The cemetery that we was at is part of the old Civil War. They buried a lot of Civil War heroes and stuff over there,
Oh, cool.
Union and Confederate.
Right.
And our granddaughter, I scared the hell out of her. It's quite dark in there at nighttime, and that and when with the headlights off and everything, I was calling her by her name and stuff.
Oh yeah. Um, I'll tell you one
Yeah,
story that happened to me one time when I was walking in the morning to school, like I was telling you about. And I was just, I was probably I can't remember how old I was at the time or what even grade I was in. but I was walking through the cemetery, and all of a sudden I saw this mist coming from a grave, like a tombstone, and it was the only one that had this mist around. And it was, and the sun, of course, was kind of shining its rays through it, so it looked really creepy, right? So I was just like, holy shit, is this really happening right now? Like, what is that? And eventually I got enough courage to kind of walk up to it, because I was like, well, if it's a ghost, what are they going to do to me? So I walked up to it, and it was a freaking misting water sprinkler. That's all it
we've
was,
got
but
a
it looked creepy.
we have a we have a place down here, and that it's called Beaver Dam Creek. And it's been a big famous thing for a long time. Matter of fact, I think it's on. You can Google it. It's called the Light of Beaver Dam, and what it is this guy was at the bridge at nighttime and everything, and he would guide the people across the bridge at night and everything. And according to rumor, uh, sometimes you can see him still walking across the bridge.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah. I was never really into a lot of the supernatural stuff. But since my father had passed away, I've noticed a few things that no one would ever believe. So I'm never going to say it in public, but I believe that I believe now more than I ever did.
right.
And before that, I was completely skeptical. I never saw anything, never knew anything to ever happened. But lately it's been strange. Now it could just be, I mean, I have a lot of, not a lot, but I have some. I don't believe in Sasquatch. No, I don't believe in Bigfoot whatsoever. Not even close. I do believe in UFOs and aliens, because I believe, um, well, I have some reasons to believe that, but I believe that to be true. But I don't believe. Well, one reason why I believe it, I can tell you this. One reason why I believe it is because there are more stars in outer space than we have sand on the planet Earth, and each one of those stars are a sun, and each one of those stars, most likely, or at least most of them, should have some sort of solar system around them. And to believe that the
Silly
odds
chihuahua.
are that there are no other life forms out there is actually more likely not to be true than it is that there is no life out there. I mean, that to me, that's foolhardy to say, oh, there's nothing else out there. I mean, pardon the pun, but that's a waste of space.
Right. Little bit. Stop.
You know
Crazy
what,
ass.
Schweig Grower? I don't even know who you are. Who are you? I've never seen you. This is a sock account of some sort, because you seem to know quite a bit about my Sam Squamches.
Kind of love a Sasquatch.
I have the BFRO. It came to my property, or at least people that claim to be, and they put a sign right on one of my trees outside. And I found their fucking sign, and I called their number, and I told them, don't be trespassing on my shit. Like, what the hell? They said, if you
What are you
see
looking for?
what
Probably on the floor.
yeah, I don't believe in Sasquatch at all. I really don't. You know, I mean, where's the proof? First of all, there's a lot more proof about UFOs and aliens than there are Sasquatch. And if they're an actual living creature, that first they have to have a breeding population, then they have to have a food source, and they have to. There's evidence out there. Um, no, I actually own my property. I own 23 acres of land.
Wow. Nice.
Hmm. I do own that property, and I'm proud of that.
What's up, Reaper?
I
How's it
believe
going?
there are Sasquatches, Tats. I mean, if you look at the vast majority of forest lands that we still really haven't explored, they
Right.
could be hiding in there.
Well, I mean, it's. I'm not saying that if somebody showed me absolute proof that I wouldn't believe it, but I haven't seen it, and I don't believe that. I believe, um, you know, I just think that at least one would have been found by now with all the people. I mean, I myself I've spent 5.5 months in the woods. When I was 18, I walked the Appalachian Trail from Georgia to Maine, and there's I never even remotely saw anything that resembled. Now, not to say that, if you believe in them, I mean, maybe they're not located in that area. Maybe they live in the Amazon, or maybe they live in Siberia in the big forests over there. But I haven't seen any evidence of that, any substantial evidence that would prove it to me anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, they could also be an elusive creature that doesn't want to be found either.
Right, but you know how many animals get hit by cars every day? Why haven't one been hit by a damn car yet? I mean, you see everything else on the side of the road that's an animal.
Well,
Yeah.
that's a good question.
I mean, you see deer, you see bear, you see every single animal that exists in a local area dead on the side of the road at least once, most of the time. I mean, you know, and you've never seen a Sasquatch dead on the side of the road.
Yeah,
Even
but
people.
look how many fish or whatever it is that they found, that nobody had ever seen before when they went and started diving and stuff,
Well, the
so
ocean's different, I think. The ocean's a lot more unexplored than land, even in Florida. Like I'm very familiar with Florida, and so Florida, if you know anything about Florida, we are said that we have this skunk ape, is what they call it down here, right?
yeah.
And the place where I live is known for these sightings. Now, I've lived in Florida all of my life, pretty much, except for the time that I was in the military. And I was an avid hiker, camper, everything. I'm an avid outdoorsman. Been in the woods probably more than most, and I have never ever even remotely saw. I've seen Bigfoot hunters out there just whacking on trees with freaking baseball bats and shit, yelling their ass off out in the middle of the woods and stuff, scaring Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts everywhere, I'm sure. But not once, never. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I just never seen one, and it just doesn't make any sense. If you have a population of an animal, they would have a breeding population, right? And if they sustain themselves over a long period of time, they would have to have a breeding population. How could you have an animal that sustains life that there's no proof of a food source anywhere where they're taking from nature, because people keep track of the animals and whatnot, and the other is there's no proof of a breeding population. And with all the cameras that we have on houses, black bear and big animals like that, Florida panthers and things like that, get caught on ring cameras all the time, cameras everywhere on buildings and stuff. You don't think a Bigfoot, if they're looking
Well,
for a
yeah,
mate,
especially in a hunting area. I mean, with trail cameras or something,
trail cams, all of
Yeah,
that, but you don't think a Bigfoot would have been caught on a ring camera by now? I,
I
I
think
doubt
so.
that.
I mean, the new theory is that the Sasquatches can camouflage themselves.
Well, I think they're just naturally blurry, because every time I see a picture of one, they're always fucking blurry.
Yeah.
That's a joke, by the way. I don't. I honestly, I just don't believe in them. I just honestly, until there are so many people that have hoaxed them. There was this guy named Moneymaker or something like that that actually froze the costume of a chimpanzee and put it in a block of ice, and that made national news until they figured out it was a fucking rubber costume.
It wasn't Chris Moneymaker, was it?
I believe that was him. Yeah.
Dude, he played poker. He's like a world champion from like
I don't know if
2000.
that's him or not, but that's
Yeah,
the Moneymaker last name. I don't know his first name, so
yeah,
I could
Chris
be wrong.
Moneymaker. He won the 2008 or 9 World Series of Poker.
Yeah, Swag Growler. I bet you're a PDF guy, man. That's who I think you are. Yeah, because you're one of those people. That's okay though. I still enjoy the white nose up my ass. If you really are that obsessed with me, you're welcome here. And I think it's funny. It's funny to me because I'm not a very exciting person.
Hey, Tats, I got your text or your
Yeah. If you could
email.
reply back, I mean, I don't know
I did.
anything
I
about
already
that.
did. Neither do I. I have no idea.
Okay. Yeah, I just don't know.
Yeah.
It boggles my mind. I don't know. I
It's
sent him an
really,
email too, asking about it too, because I don't
and
know.
it's really starting to piss me off. And I mean,
Yeah.
there's some things, but I could tell you right now, but I probably wouldn't be good up for a Nightmares channel. So,
Well, Swag, it seems like you are one of the persons that don't really like me, and PDF is the only one that I know of that actually trolls me, tries to troll me all the time. I don't know why you would think that, why you would want to troll me. I mean, why? What have I done to you that makes you dislike me? I mean, why don't you quit being a coward and just tell me what your problem is? But anyway, yeah, I mean, I just don't believe in Bigfoot. I mean, I don't blame people for believing in it. There's proof out there for some people in some people's eyes. That's fine. Just like people don't believe in aliens, and I do.
Guadalupe,
Right.
there's no beans or tea to spill. It's just someone or people can't get rid of a very, very, very small grudge and wants to spread shit. So that's about it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's bothering my mind.
He actually told Gregory the reason why, and I talked to Gregory just a little bit ago. So
you know
tell
why
you.
he's doing that?
I believe so. Yeah.
That's strange. Though. Why? Did you tell me why in the email, or can you at least tell me that part, or what they say?
I'll just put it in the private.
Okay. Because it bothers me. I mean, if it's not true, then it's bothering me quite a bit. Because I think that's terrible. I mean, why would you do that?
Especially when he has my phone number,
Well, especially when I'm a
he could have asked me like that instead of saying in all capitals like that. He's basically calling me that instead of saying, "Hey, why am I hearing all this?"
Right, and I wonder who he's hearing it from, because that's weird to me. I don't know.
Hello, press. See you later, press.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a shame to me. I just don't see the purpose in that. But I sent him an email and asked him, because if he's lying about it, then I really have some serious issues with that.
Exactly. I want the proof.
Yeah.
Show me the proof.
Yeah, I have serious issues with that, and I hold him in high regard. Everybody knows that, and it's really upsetting me that if it isn't true and he's spreading that hate, that type of rumor, that's a devastating thing for a lot of people. I mean, to spread that. So I don't know, man. I don't
Guacamole.
know.
Brooklyn
I'm at
is
a
my man. I
loss.
spelled him from KT.
I'm at a loss. But I mean, I don't know. I'm just an innocent bystander. I don't know. But I just see it and I'm just curious, Oh wait. Did you put it in private already? Because I don't see it.
Yeah, I'm still typing it.
Oh, okay. Okay, gotcha. Because if I hit private chat, that's where I would see it, right?
Correct, sir.
Okay, perfect. Okay, got it.
Yeah, he's still holding a grudge about that, which I'm sure you were there.
That can't be it.
Yeah, he's still mad about it.
That can't be.
That's the day he took away my wrench and everything.
No.
Yep.
No.
Yep. Hey, what's up, Grim?
All right.
To levy that type of allegation, or at least allude to it?
I know.
Nah.
I know we're
I
not
hope
in fucking we're not in fucking high school anymore.
I hope not. I really hope not.
What's up, keeping the swine in line?
And who did you hear that from?
Gregory.
Okay.
He told Gregory.
No way.
Yeah.
That blows my mind. My brain just exploded just now. That's ridiculous.
So that's when you call him and settle it off of YouTube, and then
right. I agree with that. Yeah. No,
that's the problem. Too many people are not going to the source. They're dragging.
Right. Well, I contacted both of them, actually, myself, because I'm friends with both. Right. So I just
yes, sir. I understand. I know what you're saying, but I'm just saying that's how that other shit got started. Is because people were making community posts and calling them and emailing and texting and making 50 fucking videos and.
Right. And no, I would never make a video or anything about that, because that type of allegation is very serious to me. And
I agree with that.
Exactly.
And it deserves no time in public other than what we're talking about now. And if nobody knows what we're talking about, then you just don't know. But
I'm sorry, but I think people like that should be shot. So
that's terrible to me, man. That breaks my heart, actually.
Yeah.
Hello, Reaper.
Not the people that spread the rumors. I'm talking about the people that do that to kids.
Right. I understand. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm catching up. I think I've worked it
Allegedly.
out. 20 minutes in, folks, and this has become what's known as a drama-free channel.
All right.
That's great.
Cats, how are you doing? KS4. Hello, thank you for the message. I can't see it actually because it's too small for me. You want to try and blow it up. Indy, smile. Thank you. It's a bit better.
Guadalupe, I would not want to tell anybody that. To me, I will keep this to my grave if I have to. I would never spread this thing.
You shouldn't spread anything unless it's true.
No, I would never.
And even then,
never.
Certain things should remain off YouTube. However, if you've got the evidence to prove something, then
I would never, unless I had the evidence. Yeah, and I would never, ever.
Well, that's what I said too. Even if it was true, not saying that it is. Even if it was true, that's something I wouldn't publish on YouTube anyway. I'd just call the authorities and turn over what evidence I have.
Right.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Right. But that's terrible, and I'm
unless
try to
it was endangering a minor, or you know what I'm saying.
Right. I get it.
It's a danger, endangering a minor. You have no choice but to hand it over.
Yeah, you're under obligation.
Yeah. Well, let's put it this way: it depends on what your morals are, but there's certain people who wouldn't, but there's a load of people who actually would hand over the evidence. As I say, I'm just catching up.
I wouldn't run with that, Guadalupe. To be honest with you, I wouldn't run with that at all. Just so you know.
What's up, Mr. Vet?
Mr. Vet, Angry Vet, how you doing? Drama-free, Guadalupe, if I pronounced it right. Let's keep it nice and simple and respectful. Talking of which,
not necessarily talking about Chomo, but I'm talking to like any kind of allegations of abuse. Like if I had proof that somebody was abusing a child, it could be physical, not necessarily sexually. I would.
It could also be mental, by the way.
Actually, on that topic though, have you seen my community post? What I posted about an experience that I had, and I just thought about it because MSG posted something that involved a fake Army medic, and on his channel. And when I saw that, it reminded me of something that happened to me when I was working in as an aquatics director for a municipality.
Yeah, I watched his live about that today, and the guy actually had a real military career. You know what I mean?
And that happens quite a bit, actually. Yeah. I don't understand it.
He dishonored himself by making up fake stories.
Right. It's ridiculous. If you serve, it doesn't matter in what capacity. if you served and you served honorably, and even if you didn't serve honorably, because sometimes politics get in the way of that honorable discharge. I've seen it happen. But you know, as long as you served and you know you're not a weirdo and not some pervert or something, then you know you can still get my respect there. But if you make up shit like that, that's ridiculous. But did you see my post about it? What I was talking about? Because I think it's a pretty good point. What I said was, and I'll tell you the story if you want to hear it. So when I worked at a municipality, I ran an aquatic center. Okay, and it's a very large one, and high schools would go there and host their swim meets there, and so when I was out there, we also had diving boards, so we had divers and stuff like that. So a young lady got injured over there on the diving boards, and so my lifeguards responded to it, which was fine, you know. But then some random dude who nobody seemed to know, walked up to her and just started doing an exam on her, and not affiliated with us. And to make a long story short, not affiliated with anybody there at the meet, not even there to watch somebody participating in the meet, or a family member or anything. Nobody related to anybody there. And anyway, he claimed that he was an Army medic once I pulled him away from the scene, and I made sure, because my job basically as the director was, you know, to make sure that our emergency action plan was implemented properly and so on and so forth. And my lifeguards were perfectly capable of all of that. And I pulled the guy out of because usually a bystander, our protocol was to pull bystanders out of there and allow our team to do what they need to do to assess, and then call 911 and do all the things that need to be done. But he claimed to be an Army medic. So when I pulled him away from the scene, I started just chit-chatting with him just a little bit, but I was kind of probing to find out what his actual deal was. And I said, yeah, where'd you do your medic training, man? And he said he did his medic training in Oklahoma. Well, medics are trained in the Army in San Antonio, Texas, at Fort Sam Houston, and that's where I went through training. And there are no medics, at least to my knowledge, within recent history that were ever trained anywhere else that were in the Army. And so we had him trespassed and, you know, various things, but he was using his stolen valor or his claimed to garner the trust of someone so he can take advantage of them. And that's what a lot of people with these stolen valor claims do, is they use, hey, I'm a medic, I'm here to help, I'm trained in the medical field. You know, most people would just believe that on face value. Why would you lie about that, right? And of course, help my daughter, please. And he's down there touching all over her legs and whatnot, and he never served as a medic in the military ever. I mean, anybody that was a medic knows where they train medics in the Army. I mean, it's just not something that
That's
nobody
creepy.
would know. Yeah.
We've there's a me criminal wants us to talk about audits.
What's up, Miras?
I don't know why. I mean,
I don't know
maybe
either.
it's in the title. Because they asked, you know, is this what you talk about? Or, you know,
No,
we talk about a lot of things.
Not running her mouth angry.
Angry, all we're doing is just chewing the cud and spitting out the shit, you know what I mean? But yeah, we talk about different things, me criminal, to say the least. I mean, even people who have channels, do sod all, and end up ripping off their own subscribers, their own members. But that's enough about Wrangler.
Right.
I heard on the grapevine that your friend Nightmare has been sentenced. Your other one, you know, Mr. Jeremiah.
Oh, he's been sentenced. I did not know that.
Oh, I did not know that.
Well, I heard on the grapevine. Now, whether or not how far true that is, I don't know, because it came from one of the anti-fraudsters.
Jeremiah has I don't believe has been sentenced because his next court date ain't until November.
Well, that's what I thought. So I think they got the fact wrong, but it's typical.
I haven't,
Chili,
you
I'm
want
not
to
a big
talk
fan
about?
of.
I haven't really
Okay.
been keeping up with him.
No,
Actually, I've been playing with Canva a little bit.
Oh, have you? How do you like that?
I like it. I like it so
Do you
far.
like a
As
lot?
far as
No.
as far as doing the T-shirt designs, if people
Right.
would, I've done that. There's still some things that I'm not 100% sure, and that's something I won't. That's what I was telling you about yesterday.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We can talk about that. I'm sorry that I didn't. I just got busy yesterday, and
No, that's okay.
yeah.
No rush.
Yeah. But one thing I would recommend there is they have apps on the side where you're choosing your elements to put on a shirt or whatever. On the side where that is, if you scroll all the way down, you'll see a section that says apps, and you can click on those, and there's all kinds of cool things in there. Like I found a new one today where they do it. One, you ever seen the videos where they have a hand and it's drawing something out?
Yeah.
Well, you can take a photo and it can. I did that with my logo in my last video. I had it like a sketch of that logo, and then it rendered like that, which was cool. But there's different things on it, But you just got to play around with it. That's all I did. I mean, I had no idea how to use it until I started playing around with everything.
That's how you learn. You can't break anything with software.
No. I would actually do things that I thought you could do, and sometimes I couldn't do it, but the other times that I could. And I also take a lot of those things if I want to splice, if for lack of a better term, splice an image with another image, I take it over to Paint, and then where the seam is, wherever the seam happens to be, like a head or an arm or something like that, I use Paint to try to match the color of it so it covers up that seam. That's kind of what I do.
I think with it, it's okay. What's up, Hawk? How you doing?
But there's thousands of video footage things that you can use, thousands of songs and sound effects and images, and all royalty free stuff. So it's great, I think. I mean, for what I need it for.
Well, I'm still trying to learn how to use this new freaking computer.
Right.
And
if you find the any key, that'll help.
Yeah, I found out today how to get the S key, so I downloaded Google Chrome, and
Right.
I like Chrome better than I do that whatever in the hell that other shit is.
Oh, do you have the snipping tool, by the way, in your on your computer? The snipping tool. That's what you're going to want. That.
I have no flipping clue.
Just Google snipping tool, or at least search it on your computer, like your.
Here, you and everybody else is probably going to laugh at me, but I've never had anything past Windows 8, so I'm still learning this shit.
And you're at Windows 11 now, right?
Huh.
Yeah,
yes,
Windows 11. Yeah,
Windows
okay, so
11.
that's what
Yes.
I have. Yeah, and if you, it should be. If it was that a new computer when you bought it, or was it used?
It is new. It is
New?
brand new.
Okay.
I still got the box.
So it should at least have the snipping tool. If it's Windows, it should have come with the snipping tool, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's standard. But if you just type it in your, like where you're where you go to your options on your computer, like your control panel and all that, and in that little Windows box, if you just type in snipping tool, you might find it. But that's a really handy little thing too, if you want to pull a certain section of a photo off of something that is on Canva or whatever, you can use that snipping tool just to isolate that one photo of whatever section of the photo you want. The snipping tool is really handy.
And I know I can split the screen where I can have dual screens at once, going on and shit, which is neat as hell.
Yeah. I mean, just playing around with things. That's all. I didn't know how to do half of the shit that I do now. I mean, I just learned everything that I do now on my own, and I'm still learning. Like I'm my worst. People try to say my animations and stuff suck. Well, look, that is the level that I'm at right now. And I'm sorry to piss some people off that way, but that's my best. So if you don't like my best, then I don't know what to say. I'm trying. I'm
Well, that's
trying.
nice to know, criminal, that you do that. That's kind of weird, but hey, whatever. I don't kink shame, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, if you're into that midget porn or whatever you're into,
Hey, Bridget's awesome.
Hey, Graham.
Hello.
Jeremiah's next court date's 10/26 for motions.
Right. Okay. So what I actually heard was a load of bullshit, which is fine. I just wondered, that was all.
Yeah.
As I say, it did come from one of those anti-auditing channels, which I've got nothing against. On a personal level, sometimes it's reasonable, but in other cases, it's not.
Audit my pissy. What the hell? That's funny, actually. I think that's pretty funny.
You
I
know,
don't
I
know what that
happen to
is,
think
means,
that
but it's
me,
funny.
criminal, is probably one of those porn bombers.
I think he might be.
I think so.
Well, it's always good to double check. It's been set up since the 23rd of March 2023. No videos and 3 subscribers.
Sounds like a sock account to me, then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always double check. It was just I wondered what sort of a strange question, and I hadn't seen him in the chat before.
I mean, I give him credit for that title, though. I mean, that title, Audit My Pissy, it to me is funny. I don't know. I have a juvenile sense of humor, in case you can't tell in my videos, but
Really?
Yeah, a little bit.
Listen, for as much as some people don't like your tats, I find you very respectful to people. So even some of the ones you don't really like,
even people that hate me, I don't hate you. I'm just confused a lot of times. I'm really confused at why people. I don't know what I've done to some people that they hate me so much. I just don't know what I mean, honestly, I might be naive or something, or just stupid or something, but I just don't know why people hate me so much.
Because of the people you associate with, that they don't like them, so they're just not going to like you.
I guess so,
but this is the problem with guilty by association. Just because somebody associates with other people or likes other people, who's somebody else to turn around and say, "Oh, you shouldn't be siding with them." I don't believe people's side. I think
that goes back to what we were saying a while ago, Graham. There's just too many damn adolescent grown-ups on here that think they're back in school.
Yeah.
And like they're running around on the playground or in the gym, and they make fun of people and talk shit and make up lies, and it's just dumb. It's really fucking dumb.
Yes, agreed.
Instead of going to the person, they'd make 50 videos about somebody a day or whatever, and
right.
You know what I mean? I'm not saying you, Tats. I'm talking about in Wrangler's case. That's
yes, you are. I felt the hate.
You know what I'm saying? That's warranted.
I'm just playing.
I mean, there's certain things that videos need to
I know what you're talking about, Nightmare, but when you're talking about, if you're talking about her, how other way was she going to get in contact with her?
Well, I'm not mentioning names or gender or anything else. I'm just
saying. I'm not as smart as people might think that I am. I think I get confused about things. Maybe it's a social disability that I have, but I don't understand some of this stuff. I really don't. I don't understand.
And as far as that subject goes and everything, there is ways to reach out. Matter of fact, there was people who said that they would be a mediator and let them come backstage off the air and hash it out, and she refused.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know anything about that stuff. Whatever that is, the
So
Hennessy thing. I don't know anything about that. I mean, I know Hennessy used to follow me. She doesn't really come around much with me anymore, but I don't subscribe to her or anything, so I don't know much what's going on there. All I know is she's from where, she's a Kiwi, right?
I believe so. I don't
Yeah, but I don't know
100%.
much about her. I know she has dogs. That's
I've
about
always
it.
been nice to her and everything and that, you know.
But I actually would rather not know what's going on because I already know too much about these different things that just bother me. Um, I make no bones about it. I have a mental health issue, and some of this stuff does weigh on me. Anybody that's ever known me, as a matter of fact, when I used to work, one of the critiques that people used to give me all the time from my supervisors was that I wear my heart on my sleeve too much, in fact.
And you know, I think the reason it bothers me so much is because, you know, she threatened to take down somebody else's channel because somebody was talking on the panel about this and that and whatever. You know what I mean?
Right,
I can't no more help what people say in chat than you can. You know what I
right.
mean? I can block it. When I seen it happening in mine, I said, "Hey, listen, we don't talk about shit like that unless you have proof." In the story, that's just that like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, criminal, it's actually diagnosed with me. I mean, like I'm diagnosed a nutcase, really, pretty much. But I think if you're creative though, and I consider myself to be a bit creative. I think creativity comes from some of the best creativity comes from some of the craziest people on the planet.
Oh, that might explain a few things about me. Then.
Yeah, well, I think it may be eccentric or whatever you want to call it.
So,
Maybe that flamboyant, if you want to use that. I don't
Hello,
know.
PK.
I've always been a
All
little
right, I'm
bit.
live, guys. Watch your mouse.
I've always been a little bit on the artsy side, I guess.
borderline autistic.
Maybe, maybe I'm everything. Maybe I'm a bit of everything. I
You
think.
know, guacamole. I have a tendency to believe that, dear. Not
I
saying
don't
it's a
get
bad thing, but I
embarrassed.
have a tendency to believe that.
And my embarrassment level of things isn't there. Like people think they embarrass me. They don't embarrass me. If you want to talk to me about something that I do and it's not a
I
lie,
was
I'll talk about it.
angry vet. I was just telling my grandkids to watch their mouth because I was live. They have a tendency to spout off obscenity sometimes. The teenagers, you know how it is.
Oh, teenagers are a barrel of fun, aren't they?
Oh yes.
Oh, you should hear my 7-year-old.
Oh Lord. Oh, 7-year-olds know everything.
Oh God, no, she acts like she's 18.
Yeah, well, that's where they know. They know everything. You
It
know what?
can't be worse than you.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. One of the best stories that I heard was from my brother told me this, and I thought it was a great analogy. He used to tell his kids this. He goes, "Look, I know that you want to cross the bridge,
What's up,
but
Gregory?
I'm telling you that when I crossed that same bridge, it was out,
What?
and there's no other way around it. But if you're probably going to still try to cross that bridge, but you're going to fall just as hard as
They're
I
over
did."
there.
I don't know. Hey, Gregory, how you doing, man?
Hey, Greg.
I wish we'd got a video of that of Harley being scared. That would have made a great video.
Right? Especially when I did it.
Yeah, you
Animals are
scared the
great.
poop out of her.
Yeah, I told my girlfriend that. She went, wow. She went to our mom's house.
All right, y'all need to start settling down and get ready for bed, okay? Love you, buddy.
Everybody settle down. Now it's time to say goodbye to Jeb and all his friends.
Why are you not good, Gregory? What's up?
Hawk fan, I've had every stage of that. My son is grown now, so I've been through every stage of childhood as far as and I have myself. I was born at a very young age, so I've experienced childhood myself. You know, I am a former infant.
Former infant.
Former infant, but I mentally I don't know so much. But
That was the only reason why I questioned it. You know,
Nobody,
I get
nobody,
you. I get you.
nobody was called out on being one. We just talking about somebody had said something about something to somebody, or
Oh, I can be quite infantile. I can. I'm fully capable of that. Trust me. I don't
can
have a
somebody that
problem.
has Gregory like on email or something like that send him the link, because I know I have a porn bomber sitting in here just waiting for it to be dropped.
Now I will tell you that he has a wrench, so I want to point that out to you.
Yeah, I know.
So that is his account, I
Yeah,
believe.
that is Gregory. But if I drop it in here, somebody will want to come up, and then I'll
Right, I
have to
get it.
not let them
With
up.
his account looking like him. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah,
Because he won't have a wrench on there.
they've done
Yeah.
that shit before.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They done
Yeah.
it on Brooklyn's, I believe it was. Well, no, it was the one that was done on Brooklyn's was a picture of. Yeah, I know. I dropped the link above already. Yeah.
Better snag it. Guadalupe, weren't you a nurse? You said I think you told me you were a nurse at one time, right? Aren't you a nurse? Nurse Guac, Guacky nurse.
Okay, why does that sound
Yeah,
like
that's
that
what I
should
thought.
be on late night Showtime
What
on the
Guacky
adult
nurse?
channels with Nurse Jackie playing?
Nurse Guacky.
Yeah.
Nurse Guappy.
Nurse Loopy, love poopy. Yeah, I've cleaned my fair share of poopy. I'll tell you one thing. At one time, I'll tell you a little known fact, or maybe I don't know if it's a known fact. I've said it before. One of my first jobs, believe it or not, was I worked at a nursing home pretty much as a professional ass wiper. Um, I was 17. I probably shouldn't have had that job at 17, but I got the job. I wasn't really a CNA, but I played one at the nursing home apparently. I had 2 weeks of on the job training and they turned me loose. And on some occasions I had up to about 60 patients by myself. It was a terrible nursing home. But at the time I was so young and stupid, I just didn't realize that, you know,
So somebody
I
used
made
your name,
$4.50 an
Greg.
hour
Somebody used
doing
your
that.
name, Greg, and made a bad post on Brooklyn's community page. Jesus. See,
But
that's
yeah,
the childish shit that I'm talking about right there.
yeah, that's ridiculous.
Not
But
saying
yeah,
you're childish, Gregory. I'm just saying that the person who done it is childish.
yeah. Gregory's not childish. She's just hairy.
proof
But yeah,
that
I've
there
done
is.
all of that
That's
nursing
what.
home stuff. Do you ever work geriatrics guacamole? Because I'm going to tell you something. That is a tough job. If you anybody that's ever worked in a nursing home gets my respect almost automatically. That was a very tough job, and I was only 17 when I did it. And the reason why it was normal for us to get a job because me and my brother did it together, and my mom was a career CNA all of her life, so we were familiar with that type of work, and we just landed a job at a nursing home. One year I worked there for a year, and that was how I raised money to hike the Appalachian Trail.
So, because I didn't get to say anything, I put in a phone call to the chief of police where I done the audit at the other day live,
Oh, that's cool.
and I was telling him that I'm going to record this conversation and everything, and I told him, I said, before I could start, he goes, "I know who you are," and he says, "If you hadn't come in trying to be antagonistic and get clicks and views on YouTube, and that," he goes, "maybe somebody would have talked to you." I said, "What?" He goes, "Oh yeah," and he said, "That's all I've got to say about it." He goes, I'm done talking to you. Fuck off. Goodbye. Is his exact words to me. Fuck off and goodbye.
It's
And
it's
see,
the
that's what
benefit
I
of the
get for
doubt.
trying to be nice and help
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, I get it. People take advantage of nice people, nightmares. That's what happens. You know,
So now it's gonna be, and now I'm gonna do it for a different reason.
yeah. People take advantage of you not being nice. It's tough to try to be nice to people, and people just try to walk all over you when they think that nice is a sign of weakness, but it's really not. It's actually one of the stronger points of a stance a person can take. But the thing is evil in this world nowadays is a vicious thing. It's a lot more vicious nowadays than it's ever been.
Well, the 25th is coming up, and that's when they're having their city council meeting. I'm gonna go there, and I'm gonna be live. I'm definitely going to go, and I'm going to bring all of this up at the city council meeting. And I'm probably, just so everybody knows, and that you may actually see me get arrested live because I'm pissed.
I don't want you to get arrested, sir. I think, you can still make your point without having to get arrested.
Right.
I mean, being pissed is one thing, but sometimes this is one thing. I'm not one to give advice about anything that way, but because I'm not an auditor, right? But I always say that you got to think sometimes like a military operator. In some cases, sometimes you want to be laser focused, and you want your target. You want to hit the target every single time in order to be effective. You don't want it to stray past the target or around the target and miss the point every time. And I think if you're laser focused on the facts and you hit that target multiple times, eventually that target's going to fall.
Right. Yes, you can talk public. You can do a public talk and everything. They give you 3 minutes to speak, and I think within that 3 minutes, I'll make a good point.
Yeah. 3 minutes sucks. I think that's ridiculous.
I would say it's difficult to get everything over, and really, why didn't he give you 3 minutes? Sometimes it can take longer.
Most city councils do that nowadays. 3 minutes is what they give you pretty much in almost every one that I've seen, which is ridiculous. And I don't know how they can get. I mean, I know that you do have to have some sort of rule on, because people will talk forever. Like me, I'm a talker. I mean, in case anybody hasn't noticed, it's hard to get me to shut up sometimes. But I think
it's hard to address everything that you want to address in 3 minutes, and I get that.
Right. Well, have you thought about writing it down, or do you write it down when you do those types of things?
Well, it's the first time I've ever done it, so I'm
okay. Got it.
Been preparing myself. When
I'm pretty good at writing. If you want to give me your points, I can try to write something up for you.
I got too excited and got triggered over that damn door.
Right.
Well, it just irritated me, and I understand she was creating privacy, and normally that wouldn't get me, but I was just, when I'm advocating to have the body cams, and for a reason, and people can say, well, yeah, it's good that they have it, blah, 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 don't have it, whatever. But it makes sense. It benefits both sides. And from what I'm understanding, from what I've been reading, it is a federal law that all law enforcement have body cams because of everything going on since, I don't remember where I was reading. I'll have to find it again. But it was federally mandated that they all have body cams.
Right. By the way, guacamole, you catch a lot of flies with shit too, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. guacamole, that door has to be stopped. I'm gonna go
The
protest the
store must
door.
be stopped. Yeah, the tyrannical door.
Yeah.
The Nazi door.
Yes. It offended me. I'm gonna go file a report on that door.
The only door that I like is Dora the Explorer. You know what I mean?
I don't know why I let that bother me so bad, but it did. I just, like I
Well,
said, I'm very passionate. A lot of people don't understand that. I'm very passionate about stuff.
people, well, when you are a passionate person, and I can tell that you're a very passionate person about what you do, and you care deeply. See, there's some people that care about things superficially, but I can tell when you're out there, you're genuine when you're asking questions, and that goes a long way with me, at least. And when you're a genuine person, people, I don't know what it is, man. I think people take advantage of that. You give them an inch and they take a mile. When you're genuine and you're polite, it seems like, you remember when you were in school, it seemed like all the girls dated all the asshole guys.
Yeah.
And you being a nice guy, well, I don't know if you were a nice guy in high school or not, but the nice guys always seem to have been overlooked all the time. I mean, I was one of those guys. I'm not the most beautiful. I look terrible in a dress. But anyway, um
Allegedly.
allegedly. But I always got pissed off because I considered myself to be a nice guy. I don't know if I really was, but I considered it. And it seemed like the girls were always going after the assholes all the time. And I think the same thing applies to like auditing. When you're out there and you're always nice all the time, people just tend to dismiss you and treat you more rude. It seems like you would be treated better if you're nice, but you're not. You're walked on when you're not, when you're nice, which is it runs counter to what I want to see in auditors. But in a way, sometimes you gotta be forceful, I guess. I don't know. I
Well,
guess you can be
it's like,
forceful without being an asshole, I
well, it's like,
guess.
when I went to the city hall, I talked to the lady. She told me, she was the mayor, and she was very polite. And, and I was polite. We had a conversation. And then when I go back to find out where the real mayor's office is, and not just the assistant mayor like she was, you know, every time I've called, every time I've tried to set something up with him, he's in a meeting, he's not there. Well, for a motherfucker that's only making 50,000 a year, he spends a lot of fucking time on the road.
Right. Yeah, man. I feel for guys like when I see auditors, even Angry Vet, um, both of you guys, when you're auditing, because I'm a fan of watching audits. That's what I do, and when I see how passionate it is, that's when things sometimes get dangerous in a
I
way.
can't wait for him to come down this way or even make my way that way, and me and him do an audit together.
I think you guys would be a great team that way.
My calmness and his aggressiveness, it'll
Right.
balance each other out. We're like yin and yang.
Yin and yang, yeah. You should do that. One should wear white, one should wear black, or black hat, white hat. And maybe half of the yin sign and the other yang sign, or maybe even say it on your shirts, yin and yang. I don't know which one's evil. Which one's the bad side, yin or yang? I don't even know.
I don't know.
Well, neither, because you need both. Just
You
that
need
one
both, but
dominates the other.
I thought one was like good and one was evil.
Yeah,
no?
there is. It's like
Good night, buddy. Love you.
I think Angry Vet needs some of those little ringy
Vet
balls that you hold in your hand and you move around in your hand. I think that's what he needs.
Yeah, yin and yang is about a balance of good and evil in your head, so to speak. That's what it is.
Right.
More or less. Predominantly one that the evil side may overtake, allegedly.
Right.
My dog has come along to tell me that she wants to go out, so I shall be about 5 minutes and I'll be back.
Yeah, I seen it where you said somebody was using KT's name, and that don't surprise me none, dude.
Is that what they're called? Benoit balls? Is that what those are called? The things that you hold in your hand and they jingle around. I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe Benoit balls are something completely different. But
Benoit.
Actually, Ben Ma is Thai for doctor. By the way, Ben Ma is Thai for doctor.
Well, I'm a redneck. I can't see myself speaking Chinese or.
I speak a little bit of Thai because I spent 3 months in Thailand, and so if you want to say hello in Thai, you say "Sawati Kap." So it sounds like sour teacup. Sawati Kap is hello. Beautiful lady. If you want to, say you're a beautiful lady in Thai, it's Sawei Yao Ying.
Okay.
Sawei Yao Ying.
The only one I know is Nansu Din Cow.
What's that?
Well, that's Vietnamese.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
And you care not to translate?
Well, I've said it to law enforcement before, and they still have no clue what I said to them. It means go fuck your mother, pig.
Oh, gotcha. Who taught you that?
A guy
Bao?
from Vietnam.
Isn't Bao from Vietnam?
In the Vietnam War.
Oh, I think Bao's Vietnamese. I think so.
Of course, I could be pronouncing it wrong, but either way, I know what it means.
Yeah, I speak a little bit of Thai. I've always because I love Thai food. So I mean, and I want authentic Thai food. I don't like the bullshit they serve around here. And so I actually have a Thai restaurant that I go to, and they actually cook me authentic stuff because I won't eat anything else. And when I go in there, when I first went in there, I started speaking a little Thai to them, and they thought it was pretty cool. People love to hear their own native tongue, especially from somebody they don't expect it from. You would think that I would know more Arabic than I know Thai, but I know.
I just think it's cute when I think it's cute when you go into a Chinese restaurant, and I know that a lot of the people from that have come over, they're trying very hard to learn the English language.
Right.
It's just the way they pronounce things. Sometimes it's funny.
You mean there
are?
It's
not funny as like making fun of them, but it's just funny.
Right. No, I get it. Yeah.
Of course, I guess going over there and trying to learn their language and say it and do it would be funny too.
I was fascinated by the Thai culture. The Thais are amazing people, and they're great. Their military is awesome. Great people. The Thais, but it's hotter than it's hot. It's very hot over there. Like extremely hot. Like Florida it is like Antarctica compared to Thailand. Like it is ridiculously hot in Thailand. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just saying it's just damn hot.
I was just gonna say that I seen Guacamole today. She was a moderator in somebody's channel, which was funny.
It reminds me of Good Morning Vietnam when saying it's damn hot, so damn hot, blah blah blah. On Good Morning Vietnam, I can't remember what he was all saying about it, but it was like,
yeah, he played the hell out of some radio stuff, didn't he?
I loved that movie, Good Morning Vietnam.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Yeah.
Good Morning Vietnam.
Yeah, it was a great movie. Yeah. It's a shame though, the human side of war. That movie was good about that part of it, like showing the human side of everybody involved in things like that. That's what kills me about what's going on in Israel, because I spent some time in Israel and I got to know some people there in Egypt and in Israel. I spent more time in Egypt than Israel, but the people that I got to know over there, they're just great people. Most people, and I've been around the world twice. And most people around the world, all they want to do is just live their fucking lives. They want to live with their families. They want their families to be healthy and happy and everything. And then these governments and these fucking extreme weirdos make it all shitty for these people. Like, it's ridiculous. It pisses me the fuck off when I see a beautiful place like Israel being shit all over the way they do in that area. It just, oh man, it kills me. It kills me. It's such a beautiful place.
What's
if
up,
you've ever
Alo?
been. Bing bong, let me in. Well, I'm gonna drop off too. It's midnight, and I gotta if I don't go to bed now, I will turn into a pumpkin, and
Oh no! Don't
yeah,
turn
and I
into a
might lose.
pumpkin.
And I've lost my glass slipper several times, and I can't. I hate all these men that keep trying to return it to me. You know, Gregory showed up one day with my glass slipper, and he was asking me to a dance, and I refused. But by the way, how the hell did she run in glass slippers? Just
I
throwing
don't
that
know.
out there. Thank you, Swine. I don't like your name, by the way. I don't like calling you Swine.
Keeping the swine in line.
How do I do that? How do I avoid calling him Swine? Can I just call him Keeping? I don't like calling him Swine. And I like him a lot. Like, yeah, Swine. I don't know. I feel weird about that. But you guys have a great day and great night. Actually, it's great morning. Great morning to you guys. And thanks for having me on and allowing me to run my mouth because I do talk a lot. And
Really? I've noticed
yeah, a little
that.
bit. A little bit. I'm a yammering bitch. I am a yammering bitch.
Well, I know you're a bitch. But, I mean,
I am a bitch. I'm a bitch. I'm a bitch. I'm a mother, a child. I'm a lover. I'm a sinner. I'm a saint.
This is one of the reasons why I like coming up here, because some people actually have a sense of humor on YouTube. Most
Right.
don't.
You
know,
you gotta
all
have
I'll
a
say
sense of
on that
humor,
one.
man. You
I mean,
gotta
just
have a
look at
sense
all
of
the
humor.
people who hate me. I don't care. You know,
Yeah.
it's if they're hating on me, they're leaving somebody else alone. That's the way I see it.
I'm a
What's the worst
talker.
they're going to do? Unsubscribe?
People, I'm a talker, and I hate talkers. By the way, I hate people that talk to me, and I just want to get away from them. Like,
Sure.
okay, shut the fuck up. I feel like saying that, but I'm a talker too, so I guess I'm a hypocrite. So, but we're all hypocrites. But anyway, y'all have a good night.
Good
Have a
night.
good one, buddy.
Hey, thanks, Nightmare, for having me
Yeah,
on.
we'll try.
Man.
I'll try to get with you sometime tomorrow so we can work
Yes,
on
sir.
that a little bit if you're up to it.
Yeah, man, we can go through the ins and outs and the mysteries of Canva.
Ooh,
Awesome.
All right, sir.
Canva. See you later.
Take care.
So,
Love, hate takes effort.
What do you want to talk
Yeah, love
about?
and hate do take effort.
I've been ignoring the chat because I've been a little bit busy putting some final touches to something. Morning, PK Audits. Nice to see you up at this wonderful time of the morning over here. He's got worse sleeping habits than me, I think. I've just been finishing off a new page on the Grim Reaper website, Death by Cop in the USA. Something that you said you were talking about, a few lives ago. And I thought, well, that deserves highlighting because what's the best thing that most people don't realize? So I'm going to selfishly promote the website for people to go to. And you can have a general look round on there. You might see people you know, some people you don't. If you've got any suggestions that you'd like to see, please let me know. But do check out Death by Cop in the USA. I do warn you that some of the videos may be too quite graphic in advance, but I have half-inched them from various sources.
Hello,
I'm
Joko.
relocated.
Good to see you, buddy.
Joko. So what are you up to? Indy's gone. He's dropped off. Has he gone to bed?
I don't know.
He did that yesterday.
I have no clue.
So what have you been up to in the last 24, 48 hours?
Well, I took the kids out to the cemetery tonight and showed them some old cemeteries. They're kind of creepy at night, kind of spooky. And so we done that. I like some of that supernatural stuff,
I was going to say, there's only dead people there. It's not
Yeah.
as if they can hurt you.
What's up, Richard? Angry Vet said a while ago he had a dark sense of humor. I kind of do too. And when he's walking through the graveyard there, I said, kind of smells like death out here.
Yeah, if it's got a railing fence or anything like that, I will turn around and say something like, "They're dying to get over that." You're lucky you were able to walk out the gates. The question is, will you be able to walk back out?
See you later, Vet. Have a good night, buddy. Love you, brother.
Oh, I thought he'd already gone.
Well, he went outside and had a cigarette.
Ah, right. Okay, fair enough. Yeah. Good morning, good night, or whatever it is where you are. But well, all I've done is just done that web page. I would have done some more, but I thought that's enough to do for now. I've got some supernatural pages on there, if you can see them. Various a couple of paranormal posts as well.
Yeah, I was looking through my analytics and stuff today, and had noticed that 2 people had dropped their membership and everything.
Oh,
yeah. Had unsubscribed as their membership is far. It's like being a member of the channel and everything. Which, you can't please everybody, I guess.
well, also, I'll come back to that. I've just seen something Angry Vet put in. People all over the world are dying to get in there. Yes, and
Yes.
When they're not full, they create wars. That's all I'll say on that one. It's the wars are terrible at the end of the day. I don't agree with war. But our leaders, when I say leaders, I mean people above the governments, they want the world population to reduce, and they'll arrange it whichever way they can do. It's all smoke and mirrors, as far as I can see. On Friday night, there was a little bit of drama between 2 friends, and I wasn't overly pleased, shall we say, that they were having to go at each other, and I didn't have a clue what they were having to go about. One left on a permanent basis. Someone who I quite like and a little bit saddened, so to speak, that they'd made that choice. But I don't like people bringing crap into on a Friday night into the channel and into the chat. It's just the only rule, really, because they're not showing respect to each other.
Well, when I came in the other night, Friday night, when I came into your channel and that, me and Mountain Girl was cutting up with each other and stuff, I had no clue what the hell y'all were talking about because I'd come in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you probably know the 2 people concerned. Say one left wished me all the best, which is fine. But they made that choice because of somebody else in the chat. They wanted to time them out, but they couldn't. But at the end of the day, it's one of those things. As a creator, people come and go. But what's interesting to me is I haven't seen that person in your chat, which is strange. So they must be removing themselves from everywhere where the other person goes, which is their choice at the end of the day.
Well, I think if people would just grow up, and if they have a problem with a person, I've said it before.
Mediate.
You can be you can choose somebody to be neutral or whatever the case is.
Mm-hmm.
and air out your grievances. And yeah, you know,
I totally agree. It's just it's a pity. It's like PK order says, it's petty. I just think that it's if people, if someone starts, let's say, spreading rumors or misunderstands something which is being said, which is even better, right? And they take it personally, then that's on them. It's not on anybody else. But it's when they start bringing it into their squabble.
exactly, Maris, handled incorrectly. You're absolutely right, sir.
What's that?
Just the whole situation.
Oh right, yeah. Sorry, yeah. Well, I may have handled it incorrectly by telling them both to shut up and be respectful.
No, you done exactly what you told them both to shut up. It's not like you singled one person out, you know.
Well, I try not to get involved between petty disputes because that's all it is. I respect the majority of people, even trolls. I respect because at least I know what they are. You know, what's that? Sometimes you get to take a step back to see for the other person's point of view. Yeah, but people don't. That's the trouble. PK.
What's up, Northwoods?
Northwoods Press. Good to see you. And by the way, I just want to let you know, I am not a hillbilly. I am a foreigner.
I don't even know if I could be considered a hillbilly. We have some hills here, though. And I have run barefooted through the potato patch, allegedly.
Well, that's enough about your personal life and vegetables. What you do in your own time. And
well, you know how you eat a vegetable, right?
Go on.
You pick it up out of the wheelchair.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to offer apologies to all wheelchair users who are able to speak or not on behalf of myself. That wasn't particularly funny. However, I understood where it came from. You know, I went into a shop one day. You know, you get people collecting for charity outside.
Yeah.
Rattling the tins. I mean, over here, you're not allowed to rattle your tins. It's against charity regulations. But anyway, this is going back many, many years ago. The chain store that's no longer with us, it's called Woolworths. I went in there, came out, and I gave the guy the penny change. And I put it in his in his tin. And then I gave him what I bought. And I said, here you go, just in case you get a puncture, you got a repair kit now. Now, he thought it was funny. But the people who were around him collected, turned around and said, you shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have said that. That's wrong. You're taking the mickey out of somebody who's in a wheelchair. And I said, no, it's a practical help. It can, you know, if you got a punch, you didn't need to repair it. Makes perfect sense to me.
When I was in a wheelchair and had after my back surgery and stuff, I used to make crazy jokes about I was speeding off and wheeling away and
yeah.
So
did anyone
like
pick you up?
Anybody.
Did anyone pick you up out of the wheelchair being a vegetable?
That shit's tough. I wouldn't wish that on nobody. I had a long road to recovery, and it's tough. It really is tough. But even people in wheelchairs, make fun or poke funs because that's the way you deal with it. And I know it seems a little harsh, but it does help you,
But they're accepting where they are, and they're also proves that regardless, they still have a sense of humour. And some people say around say you're being impolitically correct. You shouldn't be saying things like that, etc. Well, I've said it. You know, I can be politically correct at times, and so can Nightmare. But you know what? Dillygaff.
Yeah. Andy was here earlier and he left.
Yeah, he did his usual. 5 minutes in. Yes, I do. Give me half an hour and I'll drop it in back to you. KS4. If you're listening in, it's easy. Just sent me a message. I'm like, I'm busy at the moment. I'm sorry, but please leave a message after the tone and we'll get back to you eventually.
Please leave a message after the beep. Beep.
I'm sorry. The mailbox is full. That's the other one you put on.
I've heard that one so many times. The caller that you were trying to get in contact with, their mailbox is full. Goodbye. Yeah, I don't know, man. I just think that, well, like, like some of these law enforcement, they're petty too. They let every damn little thing hurt their fucking feelings. Like,
Yeah.
they're fucking law enforcement. They're not feeler enforcement, and they try to enforce their feelings a lot.
Yes. Well, it's the same on this side of the pond, the Atlantic, and everywhere else. Law enforcement is what it says, law enforcement. And once you become a police officer, part of that process is swearing on the oath of whatever country. You've got the Constitution, we've got some on the throne, but what it actually says is that basically that they will enforce the law, because that's what they are supposed to be. But 9 times out of 10, they enforce other people's feelings or their own butthurt feelings. And never, ever call an officer of the law anything other than I should say, you should always show respect for the officer of the law and do as you're told when you're learning to drive. If you get pulled over at a traffic stop, don't run. Wait until it's safe to do so, and then pull over and stop.
Right.
And over in the States, they also say make sure that the copper who pulls you over, the police officer, sees that you are submissive to them, and place your hands on the steering wheel at all times. And never get out of the vehicle and say hello. We do that over here. But even then, you shouldn't do, because unless they've got a lawful right to ask you to leave the car, you should stay there with your windows one of them almost closed, but the rest of them are closed. Make sure your doors are locked. And when they ask to see your credentials, show them. Don't hand them to them. Because you're under no obligation to hand over your driving license, your insurance, your registration certificate, etc. All they have to do is to see them.
Well, yeah, they want to know everything about you, They want to know
your inside leg measurement.
They want to know everything about you. And I mean, I kind of get it, but I kind of don't either, They just want your ID so they can run you, see if you got warrants or what kind of criminal history you have or whatever, which...
Oh, I've upset somebody in the chat. Apparently, I'm a statist.
You're a sadist?
Statist.
Oh, a statist.
Yeah, I'm not at all. All I was saying was this is the way that people are taught.
Is
I'm
that
not.
like being a sovereign citizen?
I don't know. It all goes out of the window when you're faced with that scenario. You will end up either locked up or fined. Well, the chances are you're going to get fined and locked up anyway. Yeah. Okay.
No, I'm not a bunch of law worshippers. You got that all wrong. If that's
Yeah,
what you...
absolutely. And I did. Oh, do you know what? Isn't it amazing that some people will actually take something the wrong way and only hear what they want to hear?
If that's what you think, yeah, you're sadly mistaken, my friend. Just saying.
People who talk many things and spew them out like nightmare and grim. Right, okay. I didn't say that was the correct way. I said that was the way that you taught. And there's a reason why I said that. I was watching a video where a copper turned around and turned around to a driver. This was over in the States, by the way, and said, "What was it that you were taught when you were learning to drive?" And he said to pull over in a safe space and make sure that my hands are on the steering wheel. And the copper turned around and said, "No, pull over straight away, regardless of whether it's safe or not, because you're being pulled over." And, I mean, I don't agree. I think it's wrong. And I also think that there should be no reason why you have to comply with the police unless a traffic stop. You have no choice, But at the end of the day, I think it's best to come out of that one alive. If you go over and have a look at some of the videos I put up on the website, one of them is where police have killed someone for not complying for no reason. Just saying.
I used to wrestle for a promotion called IWF10, which stands for Tennessee. And I wrestled in like Indiana, just different promotions. And I've done that for almost 15 years. Nothing real majorly big time. I've done a couple of dark matches, but dark matches don't amount to shit.
They're just test out.
Yeah.
Usually you're putting another wrestler over.
Especially like at house shows or stuff like that, they'll hire local talent. They'll give you $250 and let you get your ass beat for the night, and you'll get to hang out with the boys in the back, feel important for a day, and then
it's an experience.
Yes. Well, I got pictures. I mean, on my Facebook and stuff. If I could get into MySpace, I would upload the videos to YouTube. Matter of fact, I have one where they felt sorry for me because I'm old and hurt and everything. They let me be a manager for a tag team, and I took a bump for them, and it went over really well. And yeah, but it's actually uploaded to the YouTube channel.
One of the reasons why I like watching wrestling, and I will admit it, is it's a form of escapism for me, because I know it's what's real and what's not real. The injuries are real that the wrestlers get.
Yes.
But everything is a storyline.
Well, Hawk, because I planned on talking more than 2 hours, most likely. It is a good little program, though. And I am very fascinated with it.
Oh, right. So that will only let you do for 2 hours at a time.
Yes.
Oh. Well, I'm not paying 25 quid a month. It's nice.
Well, no, that's only for the unpaid version.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not going to pay 25 quid a month for it just yet. It's got a lot of nice little add-ons, but is it worth it? I've been doing a live less than 2 hours, and yeah, but
I did think about using it to do maybe edit some videos, because it does have some cool little features and sound effects that I like. So that could be a possibility of doing.
Yeah, you could use it as that's a tool at the end of the day.
And because the final versions of my videos I run through another editor, you can crop it down and stuff like that. I appreciate it, buddy. Yeah, I mean, like I used to tell people all the time, man, I used to mutilate myself for fun. Imagine what I would do to somebody if they pissed me off.
And that's I think the thing you've got to remember is there's real life and there's virtual life.
Right.
And if you're invested too much in the virtual life, then not only are you putting yourself out there totally and open to criticism, you've got to be able to take it as well. I mean, I've been on live streams on my own streams, and it's been roast grim night, and it's quite amusing. I think it is anyway, but that's just the way I go. I mean, I can take the piss all day. Nightmare knows that. Am I serious? Yes, there is a serious side to me. I believe in freedom of speech and people not losing their rights because they're taken away, they're eroded from us because of changes in law. And there is a difference between law and lawful acts, right, that you do. If you're not causing any physical harm to someone, you're not stealing from them. What is the problem? There shouldn't be a problem.
But, unless you have a GPS ankle monitor, right?
Well, yeah. Yeah, if you're exceeding your curfew, I'm sorry, but there is a massive difference in some ways between people, police in Great Britain, UK, and police over in the States. But their attitudes can be the same, especially when they get butt hurt. They'll look for any excuse. And I think that's part of the training, that they get any excuse to arrest somebody, even if it doesn't go anywhere. And anyone who puts themselves out there and is treated like a piece of garbage, then I think we should all get behind them, which happened with the Angry Vet. Rights are imaginary, either state given or God given. If you want rights, get more dollars. Okay. So the richer you are, the more rights you have.
Well, that may be true in some cases, I believe.
I think let's put it this way: if somebody's got lots of money and people look up to them and bow down to them, such as people like Bill Gates, who believes that people bow down to him, then yeah, all right, it's in your imagination. Rights are what you take. It's not what's given to you. It's what you take. You have more rights as a child, as a baby, before you go to school than you will ever have in the rest of your life, because you're taught that you don't have rights, that they are imaginary. And if you are that way inclined and you believe in an almighty being or whatever you want to call it, whether it be God or the Big Bang or whatever, you with me, then you're going to agree with what they say,
Yep.
you know.
Well, everybody's has their own theories and thoughts.
Yeah, it's about respect. That's all. I don't have a problem with anybody who believes in whatever they believe in. I mean, Indy has a different viewpoint than I do on various things. It doesn't mean to say that we fall out over it.
You're talking about. There you go. There's a picture.
Ah.
Yeah.
My
Me and my
God,
tag team partner holding the belt.
I don't recognize you, but there again, that's a younger version.
Yeah, that's been some time ago. That was close to the end of my career in 2007 when I just started winding down.
Okay. I'm going to agree to disagree, because I don't believe that you you want respect, get more dollars. I'm sorry, but money is not the root of everything. If money is your god, then fine, no problem. Let's agree to disagree. I'm quite happy in the financial position that I'm in at the moment. I wouldn't mind a little bit more to make life a little bit easier, but I'm not exactly on the breadline. There's people worse off than me, and I have respect for them because they get on with life. And 9 times out of 10, there is real reasons why they got less than me, but I'm not going to put them down. It's the people who go out scamming. Now, I have a problem with scammers. Just ask Levi about that one. Not that he even knows I exist, which is quite funny. Have you found your Purple Heart yet?
No, I don't have a Purple Heart.
Right, fair enough.
I could probably buy one on eBay, though.
Yes, I believe so. They're only about $3 from what I've got told. Because a friend of mine actually started looking.
There's another picture.
Have you got masks on there?
Yes.
Right. I thought you just come out of a sun lounge, overbaked.
Yeah, that was during a bar show. It was actually pretty decent. Me and my tag team partner again. Yes, he's wearing a dress.
Oh, that reminds me of. Oh God, it wasn't the
Bushwhackers.
No, the headbangers. I was thinking
The
of.
headbangers. Yeah,
they wore dresses.
Yeah, I'm in cutoff shorts and boots. You can tell. Yeah. Here's the uncolored version of that picture. So it shows up a little better.
Ah, right. Got you. Oh, yeah. That's good. Makes you look a little bit more evil.
Yeah. Had crosses upside down painted on our heads and shit. We were called the darkside.
Ah, that makes perfect sense.
Yes. I'm trying to find the other one, the other picture. I'll find it in a second. I got so much shit to go through.
PK, make sure you pay the council the money which they rightfully do not deserve. Otherwise, you'll end up in serious trouble. I totally agree with that statement. Yeah. We're all going to pay. We pay the state, we pay the authorities, we pay our government, and all they do is crap on us from a great height. And that's why we audit them and show them up. That's why we call them out.
This was early 2005. I'm the one
Who's
in
the
the
kid?
tank top. Yeah, that's Gravestone, and yeah, myself and Johnny Vortex.
Johnny Vortex. I've heard that name.
Yeah. As you can see, I got my head shaved into a mohawk.
Was that to try and make you look?
Yeah, I was trying to look like something.
You weren't sure what, but okay, fair enough. PK audits. You pay £1,200 a year to get your bins emptied and to have a little bit of street lighting. That's it. You know, I agree totally with your sentiments. You know, I don't know what it's like over in the States whether you pay a company to empty your garbage and take your garbage away, or whether it's removed by the local councils or parishes. But as a general rule, it's our councils that arrange for your bins to be emptied. And when they got this idea of recycling, they gave us smaller bins.
They do that shit here too. They have to pay garbage fees.
Yeah, they call it. They pay. They make a charge every year. You're supposed to pay X amount each on a monthly basis, and they try to make it as if they're doing all this good work. Where I live, there's no good work because the
folks,
people who need services can't get them.
No hair.
No hair or mohair, was that? Sorry.
Yeah, I shaved my head.
Did it take long to grow back?
Not too long. my hair grows pretty quick.
No, that's all right. My head just gets grayer. It's with age.
Yeah.
Yeah, I woke up one morning, it was really grey. I thought, oh my, I look old. Then I realised I am.
That happens a lot.
So have you wrestled with any famous, when I say famous, those that made it?
I wrestled Rick Steiner. I've wrestled Ric Flair.
I just like name drops.
Ricky Morton. AJ Styles. When AJ, before he become real famous and stuff, he used to wrestle at Nashville at the Nashville Fairgrounds and stuff.
Well, this is it. I mean, a lot of these big names. They've worked and done their, if you like, their trade and earned the respect of others. They've gone through it. I mean, rather than going to a wrestling school, then buy one of the big companies. I don't want to give any of them a shout out. I'm just trying my best not to. And they show potential, and they get groomed in a certain way, and then they end up on TV, mid card or lower card, and if they're really good, they might make it higher up the roster. And they're taught how to do promos as well. That's always fun.
Yes. Yeah, I worked with Dusty Rhodes down in Florida Championship Wrestling for a while, which was fun. I loved Dusty Rhodes. He was a great guy.
I was going to say, he gave the... was he as funny in real life or fun in real life as he was on camera?
He was just the same either way. He was, I didn't see much difference in him.
Good. Oh, that's nice to know. The American Dream. And of course, now you've got his son who's come back as the American Nightmare. I'm not sure whether he's sort of like took your name as well.
Well, I like the American Nightmare gimmick.
Yes. Yeah, he's a baby face at the moment.
If I could get into my other stuff, man, I could show you all kinds of pictures. I can't get into MySpace. I've forgotten the password. I'm too damn old to try to remember. I had a lot more before my house burnt in 2007.
Oh, that's before digitization, really.
Yeah.
I agree. House shows or the lifeblood of wrestling. Yeah, a lot. I would say the independents are also part of that.
I like doing a lot of independent wrestling. It was a hell of a lot more fun.
There's not many independents these days. I like watching the NJP or whatever it is from Japan.
Yeah, New Japan.
Yeah, I like watching that. A lot of, I mean, I couldn't tell you any of the names, but I have watched some of it. Ring of Honor was brilliant. Loved Ring of Honor.
I loved Ring of Honor.
Unfortunately, that fell into receivership, and it's now owned by AEW.
It
What's
is
the trade name? And they don't show up and coming. It's not the same.
No, they've turned it into more of a joke than anything else.
Yeah, they've got a world championship belt for this, that, and the other. And you only ever see the holders and the challengers.
They're a running joke about how many belts they have.
Didn't they have a belt for someone just getting in the ring?
Yeah. Now, see, I used to be a big dude, man. I'm not even gonna lie. This was one of my earlier years here. Look at that shit, man.
A young Braun Strowman by the looks of it.
Oh yeah, I used to could lift a lot, before I hurt myself. And
did you? I was going to say, the back problems that you had in the operations, was that as a result from wrestling?
Well, come to find out, I had broke my back, man. I had to have surgery, and then I went on to wrestle afterwards. After getting fixed enough, but what it is, I have a hereditary disease, what's called degenerative disc,
Right.
and that's what's causing my back problems. The cartilage in between is slowly deteriorating.
Oh dear. So you'll end up probably with a fused spinal area.
Yeah, I had to have neck surgery, and they went in and made a 1 inch incision, kind of like a scope, cleaned up all the cartilage and all that good stuff. Which sucks too, because I'm so used to doing things, and you know, I know people are going to probably use this against me or whatever, but I don't really care. When my back started bothering me really bad, doctor asked me to explain the effects that I was having from what was going on, and I said, "Well, listen," I said, "How would you like to be a 34-year-old male and you know it's there, but you have no sensation, you know,
Mm.
and it works, but you can't feel any fucking thing." Of course, that was post surgery, and after the surgery, everything seems to be fine. But it just sucks when you lose sensation, and
As
you know,
well, it's all the nerves that aren't working properly. That's what part and parcel of your spinal cord as well. There's a question there for you, Nightmare, regarding the
my
current
thoughts on.
independent.
I think a lot of the independent wrestlers are still getting out there and doing really good. There's independent wrestlers that'll never make WWE, but that's okay because they still entertain people and they do just as good. But the best part about being independent, you don't really have big promotions to answer to. Of course, also the negative side to being an independent wrestler is you have to buy your own shit, and
You need to make enough money to keep yourself going, and if you're going from one state to another, if you haven't got the money, you've got to get there one way or another.
Well, sometimes you can do good, like I've told everybody else, that wants to get into it. I mean, you're you know, it's 90% talking and 5% wrestling. You have to have good promo skills. You got to be able to entertain, you know.
And you only get that through experience. That sounds like
Yes.
a catch-22 situation, but
first time I ever stepped in a ring, I went to take a bump or whatever. The guy that was training me said, "Take a bump," and he showed me how to bump, and I smacked him the back of my head, and it hurt like hell. But you really put yourself through a whole lot of shit, and you really have to love it, because if you don't, you're never going to make it. Probably one of the best wrestlers right now, as far as I'm concerned, and he's not even in WWE. And I think if he was, he would be a mega star there. And that's MJF. Probably one of the best workers I've seen in a long time. He can definitely talk, and I really like that guy.
I wouldn't say he can wrestle. I'll explain why. Because it's like a lot of wrestlers. They tend to use the same moves, but and it's repeat, rinse and repeat. But his promo work is fantastic. I agree with that. People say that at one point compared him to The Miz. Now, The Miz came from reality shows, but he had promo skills even then to get onto the reality shows. And now he's living off his past history, but he's using the promo to do it.
well, God rest his soul. I would have loved to have seen uh, MJF and Bray Wyatt have a promo together. You know, that would have been the shit, I think.
Yes. Yeah. That's the other thing we're doing. There's a lot of young wrestlers dying suddenly. Brody was another one. When he passed on, it's a shame. And one of the things is, you know, you could follow a wrestler from promotion to promotion, but what's interesting is the way that they change and what's offered to them. You know,
Well,
Ric Flair could not wrestle, in my opinion.
but boy, he could cut a damn promo.
But what a promo he does, or did.
You know, I think if MJF was in WWE right now, that they would probably limit him, and he wouldn't be able to be himself creatively. But of course, you know, now that Triple H has been given creative power, I'm not a big fan of this PG era. You know what I mean? They want to promote it to little kids and things like that, which is fine. You know what I mean? Because you got to have a hero, but hell, the kids turn on TV now and they hear more on TV. You know, worse than that.
Yes. It's like when Christian and Edge reunion on AEW, that was edited. There was actually an uncut version, which the fans.
Yes, and I seen that. He told him to go fuck himself. That was fucking great.
Yeah, it was brilliant. But they are actually. I mean, this is the thing you did. You say you don't make friends in wrestling. I disagree. I think you do.
Oh yeah, you're like family. You really are.
Yeah.
The match that I would have liked to seen 20 years ago, before they both got too fucking old, I would have loved to seen Sting versus Undertaker.
Yes. Yes.
20 years ago, I would have watched that match.
I mean, Sting's still going, and what is it?
Yeah, he said he was going to retire in October 24.
Yeah. And that would be permanent. I think when he when he joined WWE for a short period of time, so he could have a storyline with Triple H. For me, that didn't do him any justice at all.
Well, no, they tried to bury him, and I think a lot of that was Vince McMahon that done that because, you know, oh, you're a former WCW guy, you know, and which Vince McMahon's the dumbest, smartest motherfucker I've ever seen. You know, when he bought WCW, he should have just kept it really quiet, not tell nobody that he bought WCW, continue to run WCW with his son, and then all of a sudden have a reveal that his son bought WCW to run against his father. Do you know how much money they would have made? You know what I'm saying? And have invasion angles like guys going from WWE to WCW and vice versa, and they're all being paid by the same guy.
Well, they tried it, but didn't quite work.
Yeah, but they've done it in a WWE ring. If they had done it where, like, both promotions were still running, you know, WCW running one arena, you know.
Well, they bought ECW to bury it.
Yeah.
And they did exactly the same with WCW. What they actually wanted was
the media rights.
The rights to past events, etc., so that they could make money on it. That's what it was all about. And the number of people who bought into it just to watch some of the original pay-per-views was really high. But of course, now you've got WWE allegedly been up for sale. They've now got into partnership with Fightful.
Yes.
And they're going to run the two promotions totally separate.
And the best part about it is Vince McMahon no longer has controlling ownership. Don't get me wrong, Vince is a fucking genius. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have wrestling as we know it today. He took a chance. He took a chance. But I think he has lost touch with reality. And, you know, once in a while, sometimes I like to see a good old-fashioned, just like a wrestling match. You know what I mean? No outside interference. A good wrestling match where, you know, they get in there and put on a Donnybrook. No bullshit. Just wrestle.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
well,
I mean,
I was going to say, unfortunately, money got in the way.
Yes.
And it is all about getting people to buy stuff. And this is even with AEW. I would say AEW is a little bit more realistic in the sense that the performers have more say in.
Yes, but the only downside to AEW is not the talent. They've got great talent there. What hurts AEW more than anything is they give it all away and leave, and you know, their pay-per-views are the same as like watching it on TV. There's no hype. They tell good stories, but there's no, you know what I'm saying? You've already seen it. You know,
no build up. There's no build
right.
up.
I mean, why would you go out there and you know, on a regular show on TV, you know what I mean, and do the same thing that you're going to do at a pay-per-view? It makes no sense. It's not smart business. You know, like, let's just say they had Sting versus Ric Flair. You know what I mean? You'd want to build that, but you wouldn't want to see Ric Flair and Sting jump off of a balcony 5 times on a taping or a TV taping, and then do the same thing at the pay-per-view. It needs to be like that big moment that, like, wow, that's why I just spent $50 to watch this shit. You know what I mean?
That's expensive.
Well, I know.
I always watch. All right. I watch the pay-per-views for WWE and AEW the following day. And I get to watch them free of charge. And when the website gets closed, they have to open up another one. But that's, to me, I don't see. If you buy a pay-per-view, make sure it's one you actually want to watch live as well. That's got a lot of build-up to it. The trouble is, though, now you've got too many pay-per-views, I think. You know, even one every 6 weeks is far too much for a promotion. But just goes to show me how money orientated these companies are. Whereas the independents, when you're wrestling for, you know, like probably going back 20 years, you know, $25 a night. I mean, that was a lot back then.
Well, yeah, like I've told people before, hell, I wrestled for a hot dog and a Coke.
You know, you wrestle because you enjoy.
Right.
I won't say sport because it's not sport, but you enjoy the entertainment value. You may not enjoy the injuries you suffer.
Well, that's why I liked being a heel so much more than, you know, being a babyface. Anybody can make the crowd love them, but it takes a certain type of person to make the crowd hate you and love you at the same time.
Yeah. I've seen a few like that, and a few wrestlers who can do that. Cold Stone Steve Austin. He's one that I can think
Yes.
of. He was always a heel. He was never a baby face. And some of the storylines that he played, he hated.
But people eat that up because who the hell don't want to go in and punch their boss in the fucking face?
Yes. Well, he was. His character was based on his own personality. Really, there was more of his
Yeah.
own personality in that.
And he really was a beer drinking.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
And he was a redneck.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Almost
proud of it.
definitely.
You know, and he still is. He's been talking about coming back in. I don't think it'd be right, because I think it would ruin the illusion that he built up over the years. What's that? AEW does too much. They got to give people a taste than the main course. Yes, I agree.
Yes, absolutely. Well, there's another guy that's in WWE right now that I think is another really good worker, and he's got a lot of great promo skills. Since you haven't watched WWE Grower in such a long time, go look up LA Knight.
Yes.
I'm really fascinated by him. He gives a lot of the Stone Cold vibe, and I'm really impressed with his work.
He's a cross between
Yes.
John Cena and Cold Stone, and he's been pushed and put over by John Cena, which I think is good. And if those two actually went at each other, there was a storyline where they both ended up in a match. I know who would win, because it would be the ultimate in pushing them, and that would be LA Knight.
Well,
the other one, I don't particularly like him. Is it Theo? No, not Theo. Oh God, the United States champion. I can't think.
Yeah,
of his name.
Rey Mysterio.
No, sorry. The big shithouse who he got it off. Rey Mysterio got it off. Oh God, name's God, begins with a T. Anyway, he went into first match in WrestleMania, him and John Cena, and John Cena lost. It was a push that failed. Didn't put him over, really. I didn't think. His attitude is good, though. He's an arrogant git. And do you know, as I say, I can't think of his name. It's gone totally.
I believe it was in the early 2000s or maybe late when they sued him for the name. Because I remember when after they lost the lawsuit or whatever, they had where they were talking about get the F out, and then they changed over to Worldwide Entertainment, World Wrestling Entertainment, and
oh, you mean the WWF when they lost the lawsuit with the World Wildlife Fund? It was all to do with the logo, and WWF World Life Fund. They wanted to keep it because they were using it first, and they said that it was basically it came across as a decision which the WWE stroke F made, and they did do a thing about it. As I say, get the F out, but it was a lawsuit that they lost. I think it's probably the only lawsuit that they lost because they couldn't pay him off.
But
allegedly.
you remember when it used to be? I think it was WWF or something like that.
Well, they did have, was it WWFE? Because they had an E on the end at one point. But
World
Vince,
Wrestling Federation Entertainment or some shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. Yeah, yeah, and that's where they I think they used that to get the F out. So they dropped the F.
I think it was Worldwide Wrestling Federation at one time. They had 3 W's. That was his daddy's promotion. It was Worldwide Wrestling Federation. And then he dropped one of the W's and then had the WWF. Well, I'm not really supporting Vince McMahon. What I like, I like some of the characters that have come through there. I don't necessarily care for Vince himself. Like the Fiend, if they had ever used Bray Wyatt like they were supposed to, he could have made them millions and millions and millions of dollars. That character was so unique and should have been treated like a special attraction, and he should have never been buried the way he was.
Well, he was, to me, he was potentially the next Undertaker.
Yes.
And I don't mean that as he was a carbon copy or anything like that. It was just the way he came across, total evil. Came from the swamp area, etc. That's the way it came across. And to start off with, it was great. The problem I had is when Bray Wyatt and the Undertaker went head on in the pre-recorded match, which was essentially to bury him. It didn't work for me. Art is art. I agree totally.
I like John Wayne Gacy. I really do. I liked a lot of Gacy stuff.
That's not a name I'm familiar with. So I can't comment. My twin, hello.
Well, they were in NXT. They ran a group called Schism.
Oh, they were in NXT. Yeah, I don't watch NXT.
You should, bro. NXT is so fun, especially watching the up and coming. Of course they're flooding it now with a lot of big names to keep up.
Well,
yes, he was a serial killer.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when NXT first started, and I remember when they came over to the UK, and they brought in raw talent from the UK to highlight them. I thought that was pretty good, but now they dropped it and it's NXT Europe, which you don't hear about anymore.
Well, I think they're going to redo that since they've signed and merged with UFC and Endeavor, which I think will be really cool. But speaking of European wrestlers, probably one of my favorite European wrestlers, even when he ran as a heel persona, Lord Steven Regal. I loved every aspect of his character.
Yes, he definitely. Yeah, well, he came across really well. Yeah. Even in retirement, I thought he did pretty good.
He was, when he first started coming out, he really made you want to hate him. He was that arrogant Brit, and a lot of people don't understand either that Triple H coming up through the business, when he used to come out before he was Triple H, he was Hunter Hearst Helmsley. And his character, that character, him playing Hunter Hearst Helmsley, made you just want to choke his ass because, you know, there again, that noble, arrogant, you know. I liked a lot of that stuff. I don't know. I probably look at wrestling a lot different than most. I think it's it's a good form of entertainment.
Yes, I think that's what people have to remember is entertainment.
You know, I remember watching Dusty Rhodes of the Road Warriors, and the Road Warriors turned on Dusty and they stabbed him with that spike. It made me so damn mad because they done that to Dusty Rhodes, you know. Well, now that we've probably bored half the people to death, I don't know. It's an interesting subject. It's no different than boxing, I guess. You know, probably like one of the most underestimated boxers there was. You know, but he never did go too many rounds. He either done one or two things. He went out there and beat the shit out of somebody, or got his ass beat, and that was Butterbean. You know, Mike
Yeah,
Tyson the same way. You know, after 5 rounds, Tyson sucked.
unless you bit an ear.
yeah, he was good at that.
He had cannibalistic tendencies, allegedly.
But back in Tyson's prime, and that there wasn't many people that wanted to step in the ring with him, and I can understand why, because the dude had hammers, dude. I mean, he was just, you know.
I mean, over in Britain, there was a number of boxers who the hype was better than they actually were. However, I watched one particular fight where it was Chris Eubank against Watson, and unfortunately for Watson, he got brain damaged during that fight. But it raised something which was very important: the need to have medics at the side of the ring.
Yes.
And trained professionals, because there wasn't any after that. Before that, wasn't a requirement. Now the funny thing is, a few years later, Eubank came back on if you like, a comeback tour, and he appeared in a venue that I was working at, and they assigned people like myself who weren't necessarily trained in all the technical stuff, but because they said they had to have first aid or first response there, we ended up ringside just in case. But we weren't allowed in the ring unless we were directed by the referee.
Well, you know, I watched on the UFC side of it, you know, when it first come out, you know, they had not Butterbean, but Tank Abbott. Tank Abbott was another badass. Ken Shamrock was too. A lot of people didn't know that, but that Ken Shamrock was a monster.
Yep. Yeah. Well, he came from UFC, didn't he?
Yeah.
And then you had people who played the game, moved across from wrestling, then went back to wrestling. Yeah. What's his face?
Brock Lesnar?
That's the one.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry, my
Dude, he really is a
memories.
beast.
Yes, he is. But a lot of it, again, it was down to the hype. The hype gave him nuts, but he, I mean, he doesn't give two craps about people, except in his personal life. And that's different. When he's at home, he's a totally different person. So his persona, he lives his persona in the ring.
He does.
You got bare knuckle fighting in Europe. Yeah. It's like comparing rugby to soccer. Why did you say soccer? It's football. One is more gay than the other. Well, we agree to disagree. The two separate games. Rugby came from football. And yes, it was named after the place where it first happened, where someone picked the ball up and started running with it. But rugby now, it's turned into, like everything else, it's all about the money.
Oh, what's your good news, Granny? How you doing, honey?
You got a new grandson.
Got a new grandson. Nice.
Congratulations. Hope your grandson and mother and father are doing well.
It's always nice to have a new grandbaby.
Oh, yes. Until recently, just over a year ago, I was looking forward to my granddaughter being born. And when she was, I don't know, I've still got photos of her when she was tiny. And when I told people about it, they called her my grim daughter, which I thought was quite funny, and it's sort of stuck since. I even used that line in real life, not just in the virtual world.
He's a great grandson.
Wow.
Aww.
Even better.
What's his name?
Grower, I'll agree with you on that.
Yeah, so will I. Hayes is his name. Oh, that's pretty cool.
I like that. I even like the spelling. Born Friday the 13th. Good job, they didn't call him Jason.
Nice.
That would have been weird. I think that babies who are born on Friday the 13th are all special. Because more so than people who are born on the 29th of February. Because they can only celebrate their birthday once every 4 years.
Yeah, but when they're born like that, they push it back to the 28th.
Yes.
Because the 29th never comes.
Yeah.
So they lose a day for the rest of their life. And gain 4 once every 4, or gain 4 back once every 4 years. I think it is.
Yeah. Born on your son's birthday, so two
nice
generations on the 13th. Brilliant. Hello, Wingnut. How are you doing?
Hello, Anarchy. It's nice to have a birthday baby. And now his birthday will forever overshadow your son.
Yeah. Double presents.
Yeah. The older kids get aggravated with me. Why don't you do anything for us for Christmas? Because, it's about the
Let's think about
young'uns.
it. Yeah. Well, that's what Christmas is all about. Allegedly. I used to feel sorry for people who were born on the 25th of December. The reason being is that technically they lose out. However, I would say that they don't, because you should celebrate their birthday first and then Christmas, if you're so inclined.
Sounds like a
Nice
bunch of
win.
trolls to me. My son is 18 months old, and his name is Kenya. Well, that's pretty cool. Pretty damn cool.
Mirrors.
And ladies and gentlemen, this is the part of the program where I say you too can be a member for only 99 cents if you choose. Not expected, but appreciated. And thank you for being here. Make sure you hit that like button and share and subscribe.
And share any news, good news, bad news, indifferent news. You want to change the subject, let us know. We've been talking about various things so far.
I did hear something today. I don't know what the hell I heard. Graham, they lose out with.
Oh, he's referring. Yeah, he's referring to birthdays on Christmas Day. I guess if you want to call it a special birthday, well, I think that depends on your parents.
I just got our granddaughter a truck for her birthday coming up, yeah. But there's one catch to that. She's going to have to work on it herself to get it running.
What is it? One of those doer-upper?
It is. She wanted the old truck. That was my first vehicle was the same way. I had to fix it myself. I will guide her and help her just like what was done for me, but I think she'll appreciate it a lot more.
Yes, and learn a lot.
Yes.
At the same time, yeah. I mean, I don't have a problem with people being bought things. God knows I've bought people things in the past, but I also think that you've got to do it in a way where they would appreciate it and understand what it means to own an expensive item, whether it be a truck, whether it be a down payment on a house or anything like that. You know, not that my kids will ever see that, or my grandkids, except for one. I'm too old now to make real money in any way, shape, or form. But there again, I don't think that children or grandchildren, for that matter, should always go to the bank of dad, shall we say?
Yeah.
Mum and dad as their first option. I think it should be the last resort. Because in some ways, it's like the arguments, oh, can I have my inheritance now so that you can see me spend it? That was a good line that came to me.
She liked the old truck, and it came from her great grandfather. So,
yeah,
you know,
you see where I'm coming from. Yeah, I mean that's
Yep.
keeping things. I'm not. As I say, I don't object in any way. What I'm saying is that for her to want it, she knows the history.
Yeah,
and that's just as important at the end of the day. And yeah, she'll cherish it, and she you know, I reckon she'll work on it with, and as you said, you'll guide her.
Yeah, I already know what's wrong with it. I can fix it, but I'm going to teach her. It's brain dead. The brain is dead on it. You know, it's kaput, and it's going to have to be rebuilt. It's got bad rings and stuff. But fortunately, it's one of the older trucks that's got that inline six, so it won't be too expensive. And you know, if she chooses, and that she can put this motor that I have out of my other Dodge in this Dodge truck, and if she wants it in there, but I'm not going to do it for her. I will teach her how to do it, but I won't do it for her.
Do it with her.
Yes.
There's a difference.
And then we're gonna work on it and clean it up, and we're gonna paint it. And a lot of people don't know that about me. I'm a pretty decent body guy.
Well, I think I've said this before. You know, you've got skills. You need to pass those skills on to the next generation. It's like,
yep.
I think you'll get this. Why do we stand up for protecting our rights, our rights which we have, that we've taken? Because we do it for our children, we do it for our grandchildren. There's usually reasons behind it. I mean, I would love for my grandchild to grow up in a better world. But I'm being realistic here. I don't think it'll happen overnight, and it may not be in her lifetime. But if I've got anything to do with it, she'll understand how important it is to have rights and to protect them.
Right.
But you know, at the end of the day, I've got to make sure that I don't cross the line with what the parents are teaching. At the end of the day.
Well, you know, the old truck needs a fender on the passenger side. I'm going to pull that fender off. And there's another one that's set in junk. And the guy done told me if I drag it out of the field, I can have it. So I'm going to drag it out, and I'm going to use it as a donor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the thing with inheritance is if you haven't got anything, you can't pass it on. And that's the situation I'm in. And grower, yes, we are heading towards a great recess. It's already started. But what's the world going to look like after that?
And then I'm going to sand it down, and I'm going to teach her how to paint it. But I'll use the donor truck to teach her. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I'll put the fender back on the other one, and I'll teach her how to sand it. So if she fucks it up, it ain't going to make no difference. You know what I mean? It can be fixed, but it's not going to be on her truck.
Well, that's it. I mean, you do need to have a practice vehicle.
Yes.
When you're doing that, and the skills that you've got, you are passing on to, you know, not the next generation, but the generation after, because you pass it on to your grandchild. But that will stay with her, hopefully. And if she gets an interest in it, you know, she can go into bodywork, etc., or mechanic. But those are life skills to me. They're things that you don't necessarily learn in college. And the fact that you're teaching it from your experience or showing her and she's copying, whichever way you want to look at it, you're right. If she screws up on a donor truck, it makes no difference.
Right. She wants it painted midnight black, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna paint it midnight black.
Oh, nice
And
color.
yeah, and then I'll have to show her and that, but I'm gonna teach her I'm gonna put ghost flames down the sides, and then out on the side of it there, I'm gonna do a U bracket so she can step up on it, and you can buy them, but why buy it when I can make it? I got all the shit out here. All I gotta do is heat the metal, and I can wrap it with the same thing, the same grip that you put on everything else. And I think she'll appreciate it more once she learns that kind of skill. It's just something that, you know, they're not teaching kids anymore.
No, because we're now in an era, we have been for some time, where you're taught, don't make it, buy it, because if you buy it, you're keeping somebody in work. But what you don't realize is those days are gone. Most things now are produced by robots. There's no such thing as, certainly in the car industry, of people working on cars and putting cars together. What you're doing is you're moving down an assembly line and just checking that the welds have gone in right, etc., which is not done by a human.
I like the older model stuff. I'm not into this big one. See, like the truck that she got from her grandfather, she loves it. Her great grandfather, I should say. It's an old '85 Dodge. It's a Dodge Ram. It's got that straight line 6 in it. You know, it was a work truck, but she just loves it so much. And we're going to take the little work truck and paint it up and make it a nice little ride. I'll probably put new brakes and stuff, you know. Fortunately, a lot of that stuff you can switch over pretty easily, you know, to be modern and have a safe vehicle.
Oh yeah. Well, I was going to say, the thing is, you want to make sure that it's safe for her to drive, and also safer inside. Should she'd be unlucky and meet a mad driver. Some of the older vehicles, I think, are stronger in construction than today's vehicles.
Yes.
And the stronger they are, the better. Now, these days, they're designed to crumple on impact rather than absorb. And that's, I think, is where part of the problem is, and why there's so many serious or fatal injuries in vehicles these days. That's how I see it. I could be wrong. I mean, I drive a modern vehicle. I like some of the gadgets it's got in it. It makes driving easier. However, the basic skills of driving, I don't think I'll ever lose. I'll find that out when I head over the pond and start driving a vehicle that is possibly similar, because it's an automatic. But there again, would I want to rely on the vehicle in a strange area for me? No, I've got to concentrate.
I got a project that I may never get around to, but maybe one of these days I will. I've got a sitting out here behind the house that's been sitting there for 2 years now. I have a 70 Chevelle that I want to redo. And now, especially even more now, since they've come out with the release of the 2024 Chevelle. Well, now I really won't do it, but it would be nice to take one of those newer Chevelles, or at least the motor inside of that new Chevelle, and implant that motor and transmission and everything inside the old body. I just think it would be fun to do something like that, but I don't work on none of that new stuff. It'd probably be something that I wouldn't Yeah. But I like the. You want a Camaro with a 350 motor in it? I've had Camaros. I had an 80 model, and it had T tops. It was black. Had a 350 in it with a 411 posi rear end, high rise intake. Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Um, you're referring to grow to standard. Are you referring to geared manual vehicles rather than automatic?
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the translation so I can get my head around. I've driven both. For a long, long time, I drove a manual. I liked the fact that I could manipulate this, the speed by the gears and the braking just by dropping down, and you still got that. You get high revs, but you slow down, and being able to come to almost a perfect stop through going through the gears. When you get older, not knowing how old you are or your needs, for instance, if you have problems with using a clutch because your leg's knackered, then you need to get an automatic.
Yeah, but if you pay attention to your cars and stuff, I can make the transmission on the even on an automatic change before it's supposed to.
Yes. Yeah. Well, there's always a slight override on the automatics. I don't have that facility on mine. It doesn't let me. Probably because it's a Chinese vehicle, or it's built in China. But when I got it 18 months or so ago, it was new. And I think I'll probably end up getting one more new car before I surrender my driving license, because by the time I've gone through another lease, I'll be pushing, the wrong side of 65. And I don't want, I never want to be in a position where I'm driving at the age of 70 plus and I was to have an accident, regardless of whether it was my fault or not. If somebody was injured as a result of me being on the road, that's down to me. And I don't get people who are driving in their 80s. And how they can turn around and say, well, I travel at 30 miles an hour wherever I go. I don't go on motorways anymore because I don't feel safe. Well, if you don't feel safe on a motorway, you shouldn't be driving, or a freeway over in the States. I think at a certain age, you have to make a decision as to what you're going to do and how you're going to get around.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. And I think I've already made that decision when I'm going to surrender my license. Because I don't want to keep it. I mean, the only thing I keep it for would be for identification. But I think once I get to the other side of 65, I don't think I'm going to be a threat to anybody. So, except on the internet, of course.
Well, I've always wanted to. I thought about at one time building a pro stock series to race in a quarter of a mile. Just run stock, but that shit's expensive to build a race car because I always like racing a quarter mile. That shit's fun.
PK, it's a personal opinion. I'm not saying that people shouldn't drive at past a certain age. Like you say, somebody who's 97, they're still a driver. If they're a driver, then good luck to them. If they meet all the faculties of driving, I'm not just talking about eyesight tests. So long as you're not a danger to anybody else on the road, then that's fine. However, getting insurance at that age is expensive. I mean, I've not touched wood. I've never had an accident that was my fault. I've had an accident where I've been involved in an accident where someone reversed into me at traffic lights. However, they said I drove into them. And because back in the days of no, camera, dash cams or anything like that, I couldn't prove it. So it was on the law of averages that they got paid out by my insurance company, which I was never happy about. Still not to this day, but that happened over 20 years ago. I think that's spent by now. But as long as I feel good behind the wheel, then that's fine. The decision to drive or not drive is down to the individual at the end of the day. I would just question somebody who's driving at that age, whether if they've got all of their faculties about them and they're still as good a driver as they were 40 years before, then fair enough. And I've known people who've driven for 40, 50 years, so, and never had an accident. They've seen them in the rearview mirror, but they've never actually been involved in an accident. Oh, you put the series truck coming in, grower. Oh, right, okay.
I think the only thing that bothers me about driving right now is like if you're going to be going, if you go long distances, and then you're like with me, after being in that seatbelt so long, my hip starts to hurt from it,
Now, when you say long distances, what sort of time span are you talking?
Yeah, well, see, when I get behind the wheel and I'm going like long distance, like if I'm going to drive 300 or 400 miles, I only stop once or twice, if that.
But, okay, so from your point of view, when you get hip pain, that's the time to get out and walk around.
Yeah, well, I probably should, but I don't, because I don't like to stop unless I have to.
Yes. Yeah. That's down to yourself. If you want to put yourself through pain and nightmare, then that's down to you. The problem I have with, say, long distance driving, 3 or 4 hours, is that if you don't give yourself a break, you can find yourself in auto mode. And that's just as dangerous because you're not necessarily concentrating in the same way as you should.
Yeah, I can't wait for the day where the cars drive themselves. You just punch in where you're going and it takes off.
PK, the problem with electric cars is not everybody is able to connect them to their property. And because there aren't enough electric points, you're restricting yourself to people who are able to have an electrical point installed. So you're being discrimination on who's able to have a vehicle. You've got to have both still, even through the Motability schemes over here. I was able. What's this? My twin. Where I am, I'm able to get a brand new car for free. Oh, nice.
Damn.
Right, I don't know about you, Indy, but I'm going to jump off and do a few.
Did you just call me Indy?
Yes, I did.
Oh,
my apologies for insulting you. My brain doesn't function properly at times. I have short-term memory loss. Nightmare.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you coming up. Hell, I appreciate everybody being up here.
I do apologize for calling you Indy.
That's all good.
It's all you and India is so different, but also also the same.
Yeah, I'm just not.
I just think I think he's taking trolls to heart at the moment, and he shouldn't.
Yeah, he shouldn't worry about that shit.
A troll is a troll. Let's face it, I've been accused of being different people, but I don't consider that as being trolled. By the way, I just think that's a mistaken identity.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, what's this? I'm not allowed to leave. Is that what you're saying? Well, I'm so glad to say you've grown, that you've changed your mind. I appreciate that. I am who I am. I'm the so-called Brit who's got a loud mouth and a mouthpiece. I'm not frightened of using it, and I'll call most people out for who they are, or how I see them. There's a difference, by the way. I don't necessarily see all people the same. There are some people who I find are more interesting than others, and I will support them. And then I take the flack afterwards from people who don't like them. That's their problem, not my problem, because I don't care. So nice meeting you, Grower. Hopefully we will meet again. My twin, I am going to drop off now. It's been a pleasure as always. Nightmare, it's always good taking the Mickey and accidentally calling you Indy. That's always amusing from my perspective, because I've called you Indy about 4 times while I've been up here, and you've only noticed it once. But still, anyway, peace, love to you all. Take it easy, and whatever you do, don't let the bastards grind you down, whoever the bastards are. All right, take care now. Bye. Ta-ra.
Have a good one, buddy. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna say goodnight. Also, I'm sitting here dozing off, and y'all don't think y'all want to listen to me snore. That would suck for y'all. Wouldn't be the first time I've done it, but still, I don't prefer to do it. Love you guys. Thank all of you for being here. Hello there, Mountain Girl. Woo-hoo. How are you, sweetheart? Probably help if I set my ass up a little bit, and maybe I wouldn't fall asleep that way. No worries. I'm sure there was other people live or whatever. I don't know 100% whether there was or wasn't. I made a poor profile choice once. I appreciate everybody supporting the channel. Especially thank you, Miras, for all the donated gifts and stuff that you've given out to people. And just to everybody for being here and hitting that like button and sharing all that good stuff. No, I didn't sing tonight. Just a little word of advice for everybody who's watching or will watch. Of course, some of you probably may or may not make it this far in the thing unless you just push it forward to see what was said at the end. Just remember, be kind to one another. Life is too short to be petty all the time. Exactly. Treat each other with respect. I wouldn't own a Tesla. I don't like them. Some people might enjoy them. Come to the dark side. We have cookies. Well, it's not so much that I'm exhausted. I'm just, I don't know. I really don't know how to explain it without sounding like an ass. No, I hadn't fell asleep yet. I'm tired and aggravated, I guess, more than anything. I'm just tired of people's petty bullshit. Yeah, I was sitting there falling asleep, man, and everything. Then I just said, well, if I'll set my ass up a minute, I might wake up, which I did set my ass up. And then I looked at the numbers and then I couldn't end the live until it was like 3 hours or something like that, you know? So, yeah, it's okay to go a little over, but not, you know. Well, how do I know if I stayed up for you or not? I don't even know what you look like. I'm at I'm at the disadvantage there. No, no 10-hour streams. Well, hello, Shill. How are you? She'll slip your punches. That has got to be the greatest name I've seen in a long time. Uh, ooh. No, I have not. She said, "Oh hell no, I'm not getting on that camera." Uh uh I honestly think he's mad at me, to be honest with you. Yep. No, that's okay. I don't want to get accused of being an asshole again. No, a short song. That's pretty short. Actually, I was responding to a comment somebody left on a video. I left a thumbs up and a like. Well, hello, T Rex. How are you, sir? Must have been another live stream going on. That's where everybody's been hiding, I think. Not that I care, because YouTube's such a big platform. Everybody's live sometime or another. Oh. I like it when everybody's comes in and says hello and all that good stuff. You're T-Rex guy, and my daughter's downstairs. I call her T-Rex. She's short, like a little T-Rex. She's got little bitty arms. Well, hello, kitty cat. Yes, I need a hug. I need a. Whoops, I almost said something I shouldn't say. Anyway, yeah. Someone's making a sock account and making, that shit's so petty, T-Rex. I'm telling you, a lot of that going around lately. People just being blah. Oh, nice, mountain girl. That's what I can't understand, PK, is why they're doing it. It's just dumb. That's because she's secretly in love with you. That's why she does it. Just a troll. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Just to be a damn troll. Just to be a damn troll. Because they have nothing else better to do with their time. I don't have a sock account. I have another account that I'm using as a channel, but I don't have any other. I don't have sock accounts, and it's about wrestling. So, which I've only got one video up at the moment, and I need to put another one up. I may do that tomorrow, or I should say later today. Well, I appreciate it, Mountain Girl. Have a good night, sweetheart. Where people make up 3 or 4 different accounts or 18,000 accounts to follow people around and troll them with. Can you imagine having that many accounts just to try to be mean to somebody? Well, dear, I will go and look, and yeah. No, that wouldn't be wrong text. Yeah, actually, YouTube does allow it, just not under the same email. Have a good night, sweetheart. Fabio, you crack me up. It's a great picture, by the way, buddy. Keep worshiping you matter, chat. Wow, somebody pissed the chicken off tonight. Well, hello, John. Yes, but don't get caught doing it, though, PK. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's time for me to go to bed. Well, I guess they do. I've seen so many, like, damn different ones. Of course, they may delete them and whatever. It's a glorious night. Think positive thoughts. Plus, your plumage is on point. I had to say, you're a pretty little chicken. ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I bid you good morning. Have a good day, and I'll see y'all later.